What is going on, guys? My name is Gatewood Brown, and today we'll be talking about the Sun Dolphin Aruba 8 SS. Let's get right into it. Now, Sun Dolphin, if you guys are familiar with it, is the epitome of big box kayak. It is in most stores, Wal-Mart's, DX Academy, all of the sporting goods stores. And it's usually the most budget option that you can find.
And I'm paddling this fine Wal-Mart boat.
As a part of this review, I'm gonna show you guys just how hard you can push the Sun Dolphin. And let me give you a little inside tip. It can do quite a bit. You'd be shocked.
Whoa! Yeah!
This thing is an animal. There's really no better person to show you what all this Sun Dolphin can do than my brother Bennett. Bennett is kind of a legend in my mind when it comes to kayak camping. He's always used the most bare bones equipment, but he usually has the best time. If you've noticed in my videos, especially the adventure series, he is always the one sending the biggest rapids with the most ridiculous gear, but he's been doing all of that in an Aruba 8 SS.
So many rocks. Oh, dude! Oh, yeah! Oh!
So many years ago, Bennett was trying to throw it back to our North Carolina roots, which is where we grew up going to summer camp. And he needed a kayak that was going to suit his needs for the Austin, Texas area. In Austin, if you aren't familiar with it, they have lots of lakes, some casual creeks with good flow, and then also some pretty gnarly rapids. And when you're looking at kayaks, you know, he was really looking at budget, and that was the biggest driver in his purchase. And so he needed something that he could pick up, store, and be able to haul around with ease.
There goes the paint.
So the Aruba 8 weighs 27 pounds, which you can lift that with one arm. It's 8 feet long, so you can easily store it. You can toss it in the back of a mid-sized SUV. And it was really looking like it was going to be the best option for him. This was all before we started to really push the kayaks to their limits and go on multi-day kayak camping trips and send big old rapids loaded down with gear.
Yo! Oh!
How was that? Yeah! Served him really well for a couple of years. And then I started watching some kayak camping videos. And I was like, wait a second, we could totally do that here in the state of Texas. So I called Bennett up and he was like, yeah, man, I'm so down, let's go give it a try. And it was at that point that I had seen how much fun he was having in the Aruba, and I went and picked up a Sun Dolphin myself. Now, that only lasted me one trip, and then I sold it. But it just goes to show you that you don't always need the nicest kayak to get you out on the water. All you need is something to get you started, and that's exactly what this Sun Dolphin was. And when we talk about budget, the price point is very important. When Bennett was shopping around for kayaks, the 8 was about $120. Now, granted, that's gone up to $250 now, which, I don't know, to me that seems a little bit steep. So if you can find it on sale, which these kayaks often are, pull the trigger then. It's not the easiest boat to recommend because it isn't meant to do a lot. You know, the Aruba 8 in the Sun Dolphin series in general is meant to get you out on the water and get you interested in the sport. And for that, I think it's a phenomenal kayak. You can't go wrong if you're going to be doing casual water and just need to get a couple boats for your family. And then when it comes to doing more extreme sports, you can absolutely do it. Bennett is a living testament to that. he has been sending some huge rapids, loaded down with gear, and bumping and grinding his way down rivers that barely have any flow. It is straight up impressive. And so as we continued to do more extreme kayak camping and sending a little bit more swift water, Bennett was looking for other options. He has been content with the Sun Dolphin up until now. And the unfortunate thing is we are doing some pretty hairy rapids just the other weekend. And unfortunately, the boat developed a hole in the bottom. Now, it wasn't enough to make the kayak completely useless for that trip, but we certainly can't take it out again, and it's not something that you can just fix with epoxy or some sort of tape. So unfortunately, the Sun Dolphin Aruba 8 SS has ended its life. But when you look back on it, Bennett has years of memories going out to some really cool places, hanging with some fun people, I'd like to think, and in general just having fun. And the Aruba 8 will do that for you. I can for sure say that the Aruba 8 SS has a place in somebody's kayak arsenal. If you're a fisherman just looking to get into the sport and you aren't trying to spend a bunch of money yet because you don't know you like the hobby, go pull the trigger. If you're looking to get a kayak for your kids, honestly, this might be one of the better options out there just because it is so light and maneuverable. Granted, it doesn't have foot pegs, so you aren't going to get the stability, but most kids don't really need that yet. They just want to go out there and have fun, because if you stick in a kid in a real heavy boat, it's going to be a lot harder for them to paddle along. You know, I'll let you guys on a little secret. We actually have 2 Aruba 8s. I have one in my garage. Whenever a buddy needs to borrow a kayak for a trip, I always offer it up, so it gets taken on most of these adventures. It's a good little kayak, but on the downside, because it is so limited with its ability to pack gear, most of the time that gear that would otherwise go in my buddy's boat is now in mine. But at the same time, it's all about getting your friends out there. Bennett and I and all of our friends have loved getting out on the river and paddling and camping and just reveling in the fact that this world has so many beautiful places to offer. And I would challenge you to go watch all of my adventure videos up here so you can really see the full extent of what the Sun Dolphin Aruba 8 SS can do. I think you'll be pretty surprised. Take care, guys.